Hey guys, Bob and Hutcho here from Better Music with the brand spanking new Positive Grid Bias Amp Head. What a beast. This is the latest in amp modelling technology, I guess. They've been around for a little while, but it's new to Australia, so we're really excited to have the first one in the country here. We're all pretty stoked with it, actually. It's a lot simpler to use than some of the other known amp modelers, you know, your Kempers and your Axe Effects and things. The ease of use, it kind of looks like a regular amp on the front. You've got your regular, your regular tone stack here. You've got your gain and your master presence. There's also some features here that are really cool. You've got your stages. So this changes, it brings in diodes, or it emulates diodes and things, or vacuum tubes, that sort of thing. It's really cool. There's lots to go through. Tinkerers, be warned, you will spend hours going through this thing. It is a lot of fun, but it is a vacuum of time as well. It's a lot of fun, let me tell you. The maximum amount of customization in this is just ridiculous. The amount of tweaking and tinkering you can do is just out of this world.
Positive Grid Bias Amp Head has 6 amp models in there, and within each of those models, there's another 5 types per model. So that's a lot of tonal options. So on top of that, you can customize everything within that. So you can change your tubes, you can change the preamp, you can change the power amp, the tone stack features and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite incredible how in-depth you can go into all of this stuff. Almost too much to go into right now, but if you want to really tweak your sound, you have incredible options to do so.
Hutcho, what sort of amps have you found when tinkering around with it? What have you seen in there that you recognise, that people will recognise?
Well, you've got all your general classics. So you've got your Fenders, your Marshalls, your Mesa Boogies, there's Vox stuff, your PV kind of things. There's a Dumble.
Yeah, there's some cool boutique stuff in there. There's Dumble, there's Matchless. There's Matchless, there's Angle, there's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, all the well-known ones that we all have a very good idea of how they sound.
Now, as you can see, I'm actually holding probably the world's biggest iPhone. It's a really big iPad here, but what I'm going to show you is that this actually connects via Bluetooth, and you can control the parameters of the amplifier via the app, the Bias Amp app. It is really cool. It's again, tweakers be warned, this is so much fun. I'm going to go through now and explain a little bit about how much customization you can do. I'm not going to go through every aspect of it because there's valve bias adjustment, there's, good Lord, there's so much stuff, and you'll see when we deep dive into it. But I'll sort of skim over it, and I'll give you a quick idea of what's going on, and actually give you a couple of examples as well. All right, so as you can see on the iPad, I've brought up the app, and you can see I was talking about those the models before. So you got your clean, glassy, blues, crunch, and metal. There's insane acoustic, bass, and custom as well, but this is just for the sake of the exercise. So what we do, we hit the app. We go in and let's find, look, that Matchless was a banging sound. It's straight off the bat, this is a really cool, clean sound. All right, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm actually going to show you how to get into the tinkering side of things, so the settings. So we hit that little cogwheel, and it brings up this chain here. So you can see the front panel, that front panel, it's fun in itself. You can change the Tolex and grills and rename your amp whatever you want. I actually named one of my amps the Frother. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to tap on the preamp here, and you'll see it brings up, whoa, look at that. So from there, you can actually see that I've got I've got 12 AX7 valves here, both in the input stage and the cathode follower stage. So if I tap on that, it brings up 12 AX7, 12 AT7, and 12 AU7s. This changes the sound dramatically, and this, just to give you an idea, you play for me, Hutch, and I'll go through the 3 valves just in the input stage, just to give you an idea. Okay, so that is just in that part there. Now you look, you've got all of these different man, there's so much in this thing. It is insane. You know, low frequency cuts, high frequency cuts, all in the preamp stage. This is just the preamp, right? So, and this is for every single amplifier that is in the app. So, being at that level of customization just in the preamp would normally be enough. But wait, go into the tone stack here, and you've got. We're set on British Crunch now. That's what the matchless was kind of going for. Okay, so if I click on there, you can see these different tone stages as well. So if you play for me again, I'll just hit 2 or 3 and then I'll go back to the one that we're on. So. Okay, so and again, you can shape it here as well. So this is the basic shaping of the front. So this is the EQ, then the parameters of the EQ on the front of the amplifier. So from there, we go into the power amp. So this is really interesting, this part of it, because you actually get to see just how much output valves will affect and will I guess they'll affect the tone. So EL84s are predominantly known in the smaller wattage amplifiers. You know, 25, 30 watts, those sort of things, and lower. They tend to handle and break up really nicely in that sort of in lower, I guess lower volume or lower powered amplifiers. In the high, you know, you're trying to crank them and stuff, you won't get that bottom end response like you will with the other valves. So this is a really good example of to show you what they're going to do. So same sort of window. We're on EL34 or EL84s, I should say. If you play for me, Hutch, I'll go through and go from the bottom up. So the way it is there. So EL84, 34, 6V6, 6L6, and have a listen and listen for yourselves and listen to the tonal changes. Hit it, man. Thanks, man. So there's subtle differences there. There's really subtle differences, but you can hear them. So this, man, there's so much here. It is so cool. So you can actually go through and adjust the bias. You can adjust the master, like you can get the valves cooking, you know, like a lot of people say, you know, back in my day, they used to sound really loud and the only way to get distortion was to turn the amp up. That's like our parents' generation. It had to be loud, right? Those old Marshalls, old Voxes, old Fenders, they used to crank the snot out of them. So what you can actually do is emulate that here by cranking the valves and getting them, you'll see them go. Let's see if I can do it. There you go. Whoa! And wind it right back, right? Yep, no. This is going great. There we go. Wind it right up. So that will sound like it'll have that sort of vintage master volume breakup, which is, I guess, the sound of our parents' generation. Yeah, that is just starting to fizz up a little bit. So that's really cool. And this is a really great feature of this as well. You can actually select the output transformer that you want to use. So and again, they have different characteristics. So if you want to play that riff for me one more time, Hutch. So you can hear the differences there. That fat style should be PH fat, I reckon, not just FA. Anyway, going back to it, there's cab emulation, and you can drop EQs both post and post preamp and post cab. You can actually shape the EQ even further, which is really cool. As you can see, all of these parts in here, there's so much customization in this thing. It is awesome. So you can get everything from, you know, your nice classic sort of tweed sounds all the way through to like full-on scooped, super heavy death metal stuff, and everything in between. It is really, really cool. So we touched on before with the up to 8 amp models that you can, or the amp types that you can select. That exercise where I was going through everything was set on the clean sound, on that matchless, sorry, the matchless 30. So going through, we hit the glass here, you can see all these different sort of amps. These give you a really good platform to be able to customize your sound. They sound pretty bang on. I've never actually heard a Dumble, but it is the most like revered tone ever, right? But you know, there's everything in there from, you know, original sort of blackface sounds and everything. We go through, you'll see when I go through the blues, through the Marshall, through, the blues, through the crunch, and through the metal stuff, you'll recognise the amps. It's the usual sort of, you know, the tread plate and, you know, the plexi 50 and stuff. You'll see. So I'm gonna hit this dumble because this is a banging sound. Hit it, Hutch. All right, let's hit into Crunch Town. So Crunch Town, you can see we've got lots of Marshall here. There's 3 Marshall emulated sounds in there. There's the Mark II C Plus, one of the most coveted and revered gain sounds ever, and you've got the Rockaverb 50 orange, very, very cool. So look, the 800, the most copied amp. That in the basement, I guess, would be the most copied amps ever. Let's hit it and see how it sounds. Hit it, Hutch. All right, so we've got the last one here in the model types, and it's a sound that's very close to most people's hearts. That's the metal stuff. So Hutcho, you wouldn't know it by looking at him. Hutcho used to be metal as. Now he's a dad. He's a lot more mellow. He's a lot more calm now. But we're going to metal out a bit. Hutch, let's find the recto. Yes, I felt that in my plums, deep down in my plums. No, that was awesome. So yeah, as you can see in the metal stuff, you've got the usual suspects. There's a 5150, there's a Recto, again the Mark II C Plus, one of the most revered high gain sounds ever. The Marshall Super Lead, and you've also got the Power Place. I would suggest that's probably going to be like the Angle, the Powerball sort of thing. Cool. You can tweak all of these. So yeah, lots of fun, lots of tones to be had.
So the connectivity of this thing is pretty amazing. You can do anything with it. You can use it for any situation. So you can, I think it's a 600 watt amp, so you can just plug it straight into a cab like we have here, and that's like just your regular amp. You can go direct out to the front of the house, so you can just go straight into the front of house speakers.
There's a cab sim on the actual amplifier, and in the software itself there's a cab sim, and you can actually select which cab you want to emulate. So again, more tweakability.
Yeah, so you can also like just plug it straight into things like GarageBand and just start recording that straight out. Like Bob said, it's got cab simulators, impulse response download options and stuff like that.
There's also an effects loop on the back. It's an actual series effects loop. So if you want to use it as an amp and you've got your own pedal with delays and reverbs and things, you can actually use it. Or if you're saving room for the bias delays and reverbs and stuff, the pedals that are coming out very soon, you can use them there as well.
So one of the great things about this, you can use it as just like a practice amp easily. Because it's not relying on tubes or anything like that, you can get those great tones at ridiculously low volumes. So if you're living in an apartment or anything like that, you've got some kids at home, you need to be nice and quiet, you can get those really nice tones at a really nice low volume, even just with your headphones.
Yep. There is a headphone out on the back as well. So there's just so much connectivity and so much going on. It's also Bluetooth. Like, this whole thing's been powered by Bluetooth, right? So all of it connects up to your iPad or to your laptop or whatever you're using. I believe there is an iPhone and Android app coming as well. You can use it on your phone. So that's going to be awesome for gigs. Rather than carrying around this thing, you can actually have it on your phone, and you can tweak stuff on your phone if you've got it at gigs. So. And there's a few different formats to this. This is the 600 watt head. They do a 600 watt rack version of this. So it's a 2-unit rack version, exactly the same unit, exactly the same price. And they also do this that's like an unpowered version of this that you can use with your own power amp. And they do an unpowered rack version as well. So there's enough for everybody. There's enough options, I reckon. I should actually mention as well, there's a Bluetooth foot switch available that you can connect with it, so you don't have to run cables. And if you get on the Bias Amp website, or the Positive Grid website, and look at the Bias Amp stuff, there's actually artist amp profiles and things that you can download. So if you're a big fan of Ola England, you can download his sounds. You can get There's all these cats on there. It's amazing. I think even Keith Merrow's got stuff on there. There's all these people have got them on there. So you can actually download their sounds and share yours as well. So lots of fun to be had. All right, so you may have noticed we haven't touched on the subject of amp matching yet. The amp matching technology, it exists, it's all good. From all accounts, like we've tinkered around with it and stuff here, it is really cool. But we actually wanted to throw it out there to you guys. We are going to give you a list of amplifiers that we will tone match. We just want to see which one you want us to do. The one that gets the most votes or the most mentions is the one that we're going to do. And it'll be a follow-up video to this. So the amps that we'll give you are the Suhr Jim Kelley combo, the Suhr Badger combo, whether it be a 30 or a 35, we'll do the Suhr Badger. The Mesa Boogie Mark V head and cab. The Mesa Boogie Triple Crown head and cab. Actually, let's do the combo. Let's do the combo. People forget there's a combo sometimes, I think. So yeah, let's do the combo. And we are going to do the Carvin
Steve Vai Legacy.
The Legacy. This is a cool amp, and there's a bit of a cult following, so maybe you want to see us tone match that. But either of those 5 amps, the Jim Kelley, the Badger, the Triple Crown, the Mark V, or the Carvin Vai Legacy head is what we'll tone match, and we'll do that in a follow-up video. So get posting and tell us which one you want.
So that's it here at Better Music. Bob and I had a great time shooting this video for the Positive Grid Bias Amp head.
Bang, bang.
So don't forget to leave in the comments section below which amp you want us to do the tone match on for the next video. And also don't forget to like and share this video. And if you have any questions or comments, chuck them below.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Rock on. Play us out, Hutch. Get some metal. Metal!